Welcome back to the Ford Sports Zone. I'm Joe Girvan from ESPN 106.3, and this is South Florida's foremost authority on mixed martial arts. Jordan Sherwood, how are you?
I'm doing well, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you being here. Jordan is the host of Inside the Cage on ESPN 106.3. You can hear him each and every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Tonight, we're talking UFC on Fox 9. You can see it live right here on Fox 29 tomorrow night at 8. Wood, let's start with the UFC flyweight title fight. Demetrius Johnson, that is. Right. Joseph Benavidez. I knew I'd mess that up. What's his name?
Joseph Benavidez, and they're fighting for the flyweight title. And people should know Demetrius Johnson. This is the third time that he's headlining a Fox card. He's the 125-pound champion. And the interesting thing about this fight is these two met to originally crown the inaugural flyweight champion. A split decision victory for Johnson. And I think since that fight, since September of 2012, it has been Benavidez that has been the better fighter. So it should be an intriguing matchup. And I smell maybe an upset on our hands, and maybe a new champion tomorrow night.
Benavidez, I've got some time to practice
that
before tomorrow night. Okay, co-main event, Uriah Faber, Michael McDonald. Why is this one significant?
Well, I think for starters, Uriah Faber is probably the most recognizable and well-known lightweight fighter there is in mixed martial arts. He's a California kid. He's 18-0 during his career in non-title fights. This is a non-title fight, but it's important because the winner of this fight positions themselves to fight the current UFC bantamweight champion, either Renan Barão or Dominic Cruz. They fight Super Bowl weekend.
Okay, we've got some local flavor on this fight card. Edson Barboza trains at Valor MMA in Palm Beach Gardens. What are you looking for in his fight against Danny Castillo?
Well, Edson has won 2 fights in a row. As you mentioned, he trains at Valor Mixed Martial Arts up in Palm Beach Gardens. He's got some of the most nasty leg kicks there are in mixed martial arts. He'll look for his 3rd win in a row against Danny Castillo, coincidentally a training partner of both Benavidez and Uriah Faber, an outstanding wrestler. It'll be a good test to Edson Barboza to maybe get him into the top 10 of the UFC lightweight division.
One of the most famous names in this sport is Georges St-Pierre. What is the big news?
Yeah, interesting news that Georges St-Pierre is going to take an indefinite leave of absence from the sport. He is going to vacate the UFC welterweight title, so we're going to have a new champion. And it's interesting, this is like a Barry Sanders or Jim Brown. St-Pierre is 32 years old. He's been the champion for 6 years in the welterweight division, one of the best of all time, consensus 2 or 3 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So it was big news today coming out that St-Pierre is going to take an indefinite leave and be off for some time.
Do you expect him back at some point?
I do. I mean, the money is so lucrative for St. Pierre. He's got big money fights. And again, as I mentioned, he's only 32 years old. I think a lot of fans saw this coming, so St. Pierre will hang him up for a little bit, but I expect he'll be back.
And as you told me off air, he's an athlete.
He's an athlete.
Athletes get that itch.
He's the 3 or 4 time Canadian Athlete of the Year. He's more popular in Canada than Wayne Gretzky.
That's hard to believe. Jordan Sherwood, thanks so much for the great insight. You can hear him tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock on ESPN 106.3's Inside the Cage, and tomorrow night, UFC on Fox 9, 8 o'clock right here on Fox 29.